Good morning to an unpredictable day 334. Unpredictable meaning unpredictable weather. So we're getting into rainy season, so look upstairs, beautiful. But then you look over here and see, whoa, what's going on there? And then you look over here and you go, whoa, what's going over there? So anyway, woke up 5 o'clock this morning, wet as always, but still bloody warm today. So I've just come out to see the guys. It is 5 to 8. And who knows what the day holds with regards to weather. Before I start, hit me with a like and subscribe down below. Thanks for the comments of the weekend. I think we're at 725 now. We had a few new subscribers over the weekend, a few new people saying hello, and thank you for the welcome to the island, a new subscriber. You know who you are. So thanks for obviously the engagement over the weekend. The videos on Friday and Saturday seem to have got a lot more views than during the week for some unknown reasons. I'm not too sure what that is, but gladly appreciated, that's for sure. Anyone new to the channel, obviously this is about us crazily deciding to move in COVID to a different part of the world and build a dream home, not understanding building regulations, no relationships, and no real understanding as well. So it's just obviously our learning curve that we can pass on to anybody on the island that wants to be crazy enough to give it a go. But anyway, it's well worth it, but it's hard work. Today's tasks, they're pretty much the same as last week. We've got the garage to finish, so the ceiling has got to be sanded down, completely flush. Once it's done and it's completely finished, we've got to seal the outer rim, because obviously we're not going to go for coving, so we've got to make sure there's a nice sealant all the way around. And then it is literally getting the new rollers out, and it is rolling the ceiling, rolling the columns, and rolling the walls. So I'll quickly show you in a second what's happened. Saturday I didn't film. So actually, technically today is day 335, because we actually did do 334 on Saturday, but I just didn't film. But I will show you very quickly what we mainly concentrated on Saturday. In fact, let me do that now. The dreaded driveway gate. Driveway, not the driveway gate, as in Obama gate, etc. But anyway, so what we did is we cut the driveway out on Friday, as you know. We found a lovely bit of pipe in here, which we now trim the top off. So this was a 2-inch bit of conduit, and as you can see there's a 3/4 inch pipe going through which feeds the irrigation pipes on the front of the garden. That has obviously now given us the new depth that we can fall down to. Now, number one, it's not so much a disaster, because obviously what we don't want to end up doing is having this track in here too low. So for those of you who haven't dialed in or are new to the channel, what we've had to do is in this driveway, the driveway was laid flat. It's meant to have a run, so that water lands and rolls off. And for some unknown reason in Barbados, they don't like runs. So when it comes down to plumbers and pipe work, or concrete guys and driveways, you literally have to over-exaggerate a run in order to get anything happening. So what we've had to do now is we've had to cut all of this out, all the way along here, to get the water that's going to settle on here and settle on here off of the driveway. And then we've had to buy this from England, because they don't do it here. Because of the actual infrastructure that's in the ground. So we've got all the BRC and all the steel work, plus all the conduits that are running and feeding the gates and the irrigation. We have an issue with depth. So we bought a shallow box gutter, which is designed for car traffic. So again, or anyone that doesn't know, you have plastic guttering for pedestrian walking, which is a lot cheaper and a lot thinner. And then you have, I think they call it C25, which is what this is, heavier gauge plastic for heavier weights and normally driveways. So this has all been put together. As you can see, we put blue tape on it to stop the concrete going in it. It's also been pulled apart a little bit, so it's going to be reset. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to run it from here. So we're going to run it flush. They recommend that you should be at least, anywhere where cars go over, should be at least 1/4 inch down to try and save it taking the full pressure, so that by the time it takes pressure, the tyre is now reaching the other side. So we'll run it flush here. We'll drop it down underneath the actual driveway here. We'll run it down about 1/2 inch. It should be about 1 inch to 1.5 inches really, but we have a height issue. So by the time we get to here, we'll be probably about 3/4, and then we run it all the way down here to hit the 1.5 inches, which is where this pipe is, and then we'll fall a little bit steeper over to here, and then we'll create a wipeout. They call it wipeout. So we'll create a concrete little cave here, for obviously for the actual water to run. And we also have Maynard in the house, Mr. Olympia. Good guy, good guy. So he always walks along here, by the way. I believe he's 80, I think he's 86, I think. Jesus Christ. Looks in his 70s, 60s.
That's the guy there.
Crazy. So anyway, what we're going to be doing today, we are going to be sanding the ceiling. Lots of ceiling sanding today. More shopping down at Coyman's to get some parts. Hopefully installing and concreting in the gutters. Removing the formwork we've actually put in here for the actual concreting. Tuesday, Wednesday, the masons are coming to start on the steps, which should be amazing. What else? Painting. Hopefully there's some painting. I think all today will be literally all about the sanding down. I've zoomed in a few times and shown you obviously the issues in and around the pool area. This will show you what. So as you can see, I've got 3 swimming pools. I've got one there which is empty. I've got one here which always is full, and I've got one here that's always full as well. So as you can see, it's reasonably dry in and around where we put the other drain. So ideally what I need to do as well is consider straight from here, straight over, putting another one about here somewhere, and also need to consider putting one here as well. I did at the weekend draw an X spot, so I think within reason I need to start considering. As you can see, it sort of runs to here, so I don't want water going anywhere near the doors, hence the reason why we put these drains in here, because obviously the water lands up overfilling here and coming this way. So I think I need to consider putting one into here, taking it across underneath the ceiling and connecting into this one. Obviously they all go that way. Putting another one here, again, same thing, all the way over, coming along and connecting to this one. So in an ideal world, I'd like it to be here, because what we've got downstairs is the main supporting wall here. So rather than having to put it here and come through and bust through a wall, I think it would be easier to try and put it here somewhere and take it straight along. That would be the best bet. The downside to that, obviously, is that I've got water that's going to land up coming down to one. So really there should be one here somewhere, one here, one here and one here, so there should be 4 in total. But again, drilling holes into your concrete surface to allow water through is always a bit of a nerve-wracking experience. But anyway, it's got to be done, because at the moment, as you can see, it's not massively deep, but you know, we didn't have a lot of rain last night and there's still quite a puddle here. So we definitely need to put something here. I definitely think we need to put one right about here, which is dead in line with this one. They will at least go out. That will be better than nothing. And I think, you know, at the moment, obviously, we need to get this water gone rather than it sitting here. Plus, we need at least 2 lots. The downside, obviously, is that this comes into a 1.5 inch pipe. So taking another feed into a 1.5 inch pipe, obviously, it's got a restriction on what it can and can't do. Obviously, as you know, we took it into a 2 inch here, which you can just see, and then went into a 3 inch. And obviously that's 3 inch going out, but really we've got to be careful we don't take too much water into a very small pipe. Bear in mind that will be four lots going into 1.5 inch. I could obviously take the 1.5 inch out. At the moment, obviously we've got the 2 inch here, so I think the best thing to do would be to change the 1.5 inch pipe that comes from here to here, and upgrade it to 2 inch at least, and then we can go 2 inch to here and then 2 inch straight out. I think that's what we need to consider. The downside also needs to be sorted today, because again, as you can see, we've had rain but it has gone. We need to take this out today and get that shaven, because inside it's actually not designed. It's basically a driveway drain, and it's got like a sieve element to it, so I need to cut that out, which I'll show you a bit later on, and I'll actually show you how I do it. And then we've got to then get all of this garbage out and get that reconcreted in today, so I want that completely done. That's just to physically take any form of water that decides to come into this area away before it starts looking to go into here. So that needs to be done as well. So I want to try and get, at the moment everyone's reminding me we're going into rainy season, we really need to have the drainage element sorted. So I think today I will actually look at getting that drilled and put in. So I need to go and find another one like that. If I can't find one like that, I need to obviously find 4 new ones that look the same. I'm going to start with 2 and just see how it goes, but I do think at the moment with the state of this one here, I think we do need to consider putting the 3rd one in, but that does mean we've got to come along all the way along here in the ceiling and then go through the wall, the supporting wall which is here, to connect to this one, which is a bit of a pain in the backside, but needs must. Okay, In the meantime, obviously, your comments are really important to me, so if you can put some down below, let me know what you think about what you would do here. Matthew, you've been on there a couple of times saying rainy season's coming, get your arse in gear, and you're right, I do need to get that sorted. So anyone got any other ideas, let me know, but I think that's the only thing we really can do apart from then chasing into the concrete and making it look an eyesore. In the meantime, obviously, like and subscribe, help me with the algorithm, get me some traction. We're at 725. It would be amazing in the next month if we could try and get to 1,000. It's only 200, guys. What can we do? What can we do? I'll update you a little later on. Obviously, we're going to be doing the drain today, hopefully, if the weather can hold off, and sanding down in here. They're the main things. I'm going to go and get the materials, and I'm also going to try and fit the if I can get the hinges, I'm going to try and fit the kitchen covers today, if I can. So anyway, I'll check in a bit later on. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Okay, 20 past 12. Everyone's gone to lunch, so quick update. Well, everyone, me and Sherman. Okay, so we've made some progress on just getting the channel drain in. So let me quickly show you that. And also, we've finished weeding. We've got building stuff to do, more weeding. And obviously we're making progress on sanding down the ceiling as well. So before I start, you know what to do. Downstairs, hit that bell, give me a thumbs up, give me some positivity and some comments would be great. Hopefully we get some new subscribers today. That would set our week off on an amazing start. So let me quickly show you, as I said to everyone who hasn't started already on the channel, today it's been the box gutter and the ceiling sanding down. So let me show you where we are. What we decided to do is actually put down some smocks and some bricks in and around where the joins were. So all of these are 100, or depending on what language you're in, obviously. So we basically pulled a line and concreted down some blocks and smocks to ensure that we get the run. So as you can see, this one here is slightly running down to join this T-junction. This one is very slightly running this way to join into here, and then we're getting most of our run away from the property and out through what is going to be a reasonably ugly looking wipeout. So at the moment it's drawing meaning that the moisture is drying out of it, and then you can wet it and scrape it and smooth it and do what you've got to do with it. So we put these 6-inch blocks on there just to try and keep them down, because you don't want any movement. You want it to try and stay down as solid as possible whilst the mortar is actually curing around it. It's certainly not perfect, but it seems to be okay. This one here we put in obviously because we were going to run it out that way to the road as well, but we decided not to do that. So at the moment this is just capturing this bit here and again down into this. I say my biggest concern at the moment is that we've had to go with 55mm shallow drainage, which means if we get a lot of water it's going to get overwhelmed quite quickly. So I really do hope that we've got the right run away from the building, that's for sure. We've tried to get it down as low as possible, but as I said to you before, we're quite restricted on the conduits that are going through the driveway here. So as you can see, it has started off quite level here, and it has come down and has gone under the driveway. That's not necessarily to say that it's straight, but we did put a line on it, we did put a level on it, and we're quite confident it was right. So fingers crossed it does what it needs to do. Up here we've tried to be as high as possible. So hopefully the water will come into here and run that way, and then obviously it starts coming underneath the driveway height here and falls very gradually. It's not a great run. I mean, even here it looks like it's gone up a little bit, but it's not. Yeah, we're sort of running a very, very small amount of run this way in the hope that it's obviously that it finds its way out. This is the lowest point, obviously, so all the water wants to come this way. So hopefully the flow of the water that way will pull this water. Worst case scenario, it's going to go into the garage. What can I do? But anyway, try the best we can under the circumstances. For anyone obviously doing it, like I said to you, you've got C5, I think C25 and standard. If it is going to have some form of driveway traffic, i.e. cars going over, you do have to go with a heavier gauge drainage, so do be mindful of that. I'm just saying, we've just literally smocked and supported underneath each joint to ensure that the two joints don't do this or this, so they stay level. So fingers crossed, we'll let that draw. I've already started, as you can see in this corner, I've already started sort of just smoothing off. That's what it will look like roughly. So I've just literally tried to bed this side in here, and then it's the laborious task of trying to get into the gaps here and go all the way along, which is going to be a tedious task. I would normally give it to someone else to do, but I'm very mindful I've got to stare at it forever, and it's not going to be pretty unless it's done right. So I'm certainly not perfect, that's for sure, but at least if it looks crap, I can blame myself. We've tried to go a little bit more offset centre as well to the right, because this has already got a fall on it, whereas this doesn't. So we're going to try and get more of an angle here, whereas this one can obviously be a little bit less forgiving. But we are going to have to rely on this one, trying to absorb as much as possible. As you can see over here, that's what it highlights how far we have come over. You can see one side is obviously quite shallow and the other one's quite long. So anyway, in here, obviously, Sherman's had his electric sander and his elbow going in here. As you can see, we're looking pretty dusty. So yeah, we've got a long road to go in here, but it's starting. So fingers crossed we can try and get this finished by the end of play today, and then tomorrow it's going to be paint. They've taken this out, as you know. Last week we literally just finished this edge off, so that's looking quite good now. So the battening has been taken away, and then we've obviously got all of this actually sanded in, so that's all good. And I've got to go and do a run in a minute. So the other thing I said earlier on I'm going to decide to do, I've got to go and get the equipment, but I am going to try. At the moment it looks like all of these drain holes are 1.5s themselves. I've got no choice but to go 1.5s. So I'm going to drill one just over near the washing line there, and I'm going to drill another 2 here and here, and then connect these ones over. I might start with this one first, but in my gut I do know that we do need that one there, and at least one, if not both of those as well. So I might as well just go for the paint and get them done. It means we're going to have to obviously come into here, dig this bit out again. Actually, sorry, no, we're going to go 1.5. We're going to have, obviously, in here, we've got an elbow here. So we're going to have to cut that, put a T-junction in, and then obviously reconnect back in again, and then run backwards into a 90. And then this one's going to have to come over and do the same thing. It's going to 90 across here into a T-junction, 90 across into a T-junction. But that should hopefully stop the water from building up on the patio, which obviously is getting to a point where it's going to become quite essential. So we're going to start that hopefully today. I'm going to go and get the equipment. I've got to go and get some parts now. So whilst we're at lunch, I might zoom off and go and do that now. Other than that, I'll check in later on. But again, don't forget, help me with some comments down there. You obviously giving me comments helps me, 1, learn, 2, answer the right questions, 3, confirm I've done it right, and maybe you're not aware of something, which might pass on some information, which can always help. So yeah, the comments are really important to me, as well as the like. So do what you can below, and I'll check on you later on. Thank you. Okay, so much for the rain this morning and no sun. Beating me as always. Anyway, just what you need when you're outside doing some concreting and guttering. Anyway, what is the time now? 3:10. Okay, gutters in this side. Just starting to bench through here. Here's been smoothed off. Pretty much in so far, so it's drawing as we speak. Just waiting for some mortar to be mixed up by Smithy, and then we'll get the rest of it done. Hopefully when we get some sponge and water on there and take the blue tape off, it will look more pleasant than it does at the moment. But anyway, that's where we are so far. In here, dust hell. All inside the house as always. Hopefully this will be done today, and we can get this blown through and hosed through, and start looking at getting some paint in here. Yeah, so I think the last bit to go, just this back piece here, and also back piece here, and we should hopefully be done. That's the hope anyway. And then hopefully if Smithy can mix up this as soon as possible, I can get this finished off. This should take me about 20 minutes, half an hour. And then hopefully we should be done on the guttering scenario. Hopefully then water goes in and it flows. If not, I'm just going to get an umbrella. That's it, I'm done. Like and subscribe. See you soon. Okay, 4:50, another day over on planet Earth. Before I start, help me with some comments below. If you see what you like, you don't like what you like, tell me where I've gone wrong or right. Today, obviously, we've managed to finish this off, so it's been a bit of a task. It's been very hot today as well, so obviously doing it in the sun's been a bit of a ball ache, but anyway, that's the way things are when you live in paradise. So anyway, let me show you. Not a great deal different than last time I showed you, but obviously now it's all in, and the actual concreting on the sides is done as well. We've actually gone up the wall as well because the plaster wasn't taken down, so we managed to get it down there and plastered up. And as you can see from this side, it's slightly set to the left. A little crab having a little play, look. So and down into a wipeout. So I've kept it here. I might trim that back. I'm not too sure yet, but I thought I'd get it out as far as possible. I was going to have it to here, but I wanted it shy of here. Obviously the water's going to be coming through here, so that will come into the drain and obviously flood out, and then obviously the wipeout is like this. So anyway, so this is pretty much done in here. The sanding in here, God, thank God, I think it might be finished. I'm not too sure. It looks like it is, fingers crossed it is. So I think we are in a situation where tomorrow we could be just painting, because I've just hosed down here, but obviously I can't get this wet, so it's just covered in dust. The dust has gone through the door as always, into the house. So anyway, that's so this has all been done today. We've also caulked around the outsides. Outside drainage in the driveway's been done today. The guys have been working on building some temporary doors for the front of the garage. We're having bifolds put in the back and some makeshift ones put in the rear. The drainage down here was done today as well. And I also heard the guys doing something down here today, so I'm not too sure what they were doing, but let's take a look. Oh, that needs to be all cleaned up. Wow. So we've got to get the plumber to move the pipe work, as we said. This has all got to be evened out as well, as I've said before. The pipe work down here has got to be put down, but it looks like they've been working on some form of edging for the soakaway. I don't think they needed to do that. But yeah, so the soakaway itself, we'll level that off at some stage anyway, and then get this raked so you can't see where it actually is. And they've also been working on the front step as well, the little step here. So the water's now through the floor, step is in, and we potentially won't break our necks now. But I mean, obviously we'll fill this and we'll raise the mud up a little bit anymore, so it becomes a little bit more straightforward to step on. So yeah, it was quite a height before, but I say we'll get this filled in and it'll be a nice little step. And the other thing we obviously still got to do is potentially plaster the little sump that we've made and get these rocks moved at some stage. So yeah, a good productive day today. It's been quite a busy one. Wasn't intending on being as busy like that myself. So tomorrow it'll be good to try and look at getting some of the windows in and installed. The window fitter did come. He did say he's going to potentially start this week for me, which would be good. I also want to try and get the parts, so I didn't get out today because I was flat out in the driveway. But as I said, X marks the spot. We can try and get a couple of extra drill holes in here. As I say, I might just start with this one. Start with obviously putting one dead in line with this one here. So I might just start off by putting one over there, right in at the end of that puddle. It means that the water will drip, but obviously as and when it lowers, it won't go. It will just sit there like it does here. So we do need to consider putting something here. Now, there is a drill, you know, there's a mark there. So maybe if we go about centre with the actual patio, which is about here, we go centre there, and also do another one centre over there. That could work. I mean, I have got a little line over there, but I suppose it doesn't really make a difference as long as the water does flood away. Now, obviously, at some stage, obviously, this is going to be a pool, so the water does actually run quite into there and left and right and forward. So, and then obviously the trough itself dumps water out the back. So it's not essential, but at the moment, I can think if there's going to be serious rain, the rain's going to go that way, and this is going to go that way, and it's going to go towards the doors, which I don't want. So we do need to consider getting something in there sooner rather than later, I think. The cracks on the patio, they don't seem to be getting worse, but they are quite prominent. You've got one right here, look, comes right over here, look, and then heads all the way down here, which is pretty much where the supporting wall is downstairs. This is the big span. So obviously you get like when you've got a beam, you get a bit of a sag each side, and then you get a crack that opens. So this is where the actual supporting beam actually is downstairs, and there's a supporting beam going through the middle here. So obviously you've got same thing again, you've got that happening, this bit's sagged and that bit's sagged, and you get a crack in the middle. So I might actually put some of the actual filler caulk in there. We don't get any leaking downstairs from this crack, but it is quite large. So I might actually get some filling caulk in there. With regards to the other ones, I mean, we do get a little bit of dampness coming through from this one over here, which goes in the corner. We get some coming through that one, and we do get some coming through the one over there downstairs as well. Anyway, they're not livable rooms and whatever else, so it's not really essential anyway, but if we can get the water off of here, that would be better. And if we can get some of the cracks actually sealed, then that will certainly help. So Okay, apart from that, obviously day is over on planet Earth. Give me a like and subscribe if you can. From my point of view, if anything you want to see in particular, please let me know. New subscribers, thank you. Help me get some more, that'd be great. And I will check in with you bright and breezy tomorrow morning. So have a good evening, I'll see you soon.